Oh, yeah. And I made it harder with RASTA, you hear me? Okay.
It was 2 years ago. I was called in to do the night shift, 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. at 7-Eleven, since somebody called out. The store was located on a busy road in a rather quiet and rural area. During the night shift, you could expect anywhere from 10 to 20 people come in to buy a beer or something else. This one particular night, there was this one guy, mid-20s, that came in. He started making weird noises, like loud yelling noises. I assumed he had some kind of mental disability. In fact, my brother has a mental disability, so I immediately felt sympathy for the guy. He walked up to the counter without any items, with his head facing me, but his eyes were looking up at the ceiling. I felt uncomfortable. I honestly didn't know how to deal with it. I tried speaking with him, but he only responded in loud noises. I kept checking if he was with someone outside, but he was alone. There weren't any cars in the parking lot, so I assumed he walked. He stood there for so long, looking up at the ceiling and making noises, that I tried to get him out by handing him a bag of chips and telling him he can go. I tried finding some kind of number to call for someone to help him. Then, out of nowhere, he finally turned around and walked out of the store. I felt so horrible for the man, but at the same time, I felt a bit creeped out. About an hour later, the phone on the counter rang.
By the way, I'm gonna leave a link in the description for everybody.
I picked up to hear the familiar yelling sounds of the man from earlier. It caught me off guard. I didn't know what to think, other than this has to be some kind of prank. I hung up on them and was now becoming paranoid of my surroundings, constantly checking the outside through the windows. Come 4 o'clock, the person working after me came in, finally allowing for me to go home. It wasn't my problem anymore. I got home and threw all my stuff on the table, ready to get to sleep. But my phone rang within a minute after entering the door. I felt a chill run down my spine. Why would someone be calling at 4 a.m.? I could only imagine it was bad news. I braced myself and picked up the phone to hear the man again. I felt sick to my stomach as I listened to the loud noises he made. I struggled to slam the phone to the receiver. All night I felt like I was being watched, even with all the blinds shut. And I could swear I heard strange noises coming from all over my house. I refused to get any sleep until the sun came up. Weeks passed and I had forgotten about the incident, until one day, when going into the basement for the first time in a while, I found that papers had been scattered all over the floor, and when I went into the basement closet, I found writing on the walls. 7-Eleven had been written in Sharpie on the wall, along with the address to the 7-Eleven I worked at and my house address. The most disturbing part, I also found various kitchen knives along with a large pocket knife sitting in the closet. What started out as seemingly just an innocent person turning into something of a prank ultimately turned into something much more horrifying. He had been living down there for God knows how long, and I'm just grateful that for whatever reason he changed his mind and left, because I haven't seen or heard from him since. All I can say is that man is dangerously ill.
And that was whack, man.
I'm 30 years old, and this story took place when I was 13. My mother was a single mom, and she had to work 2 jobs. She worked at a grocery store in the morning and a bar at night. So I was home alone a lot, but it was okay because I was used to it. I could cook myself some dinner and walk back and forth to school. I was a pretty responsible kid for my age. One night, I was watching TV while eating ice cream, and someone knocked at the front door. I was wondering who it could be, as my friends never came out this late and my mom would always use her key to get in. I opened the door,
Why would he just
and it
open
was
the
a man
door? He
standing
didn't
there
even
with his
say
hands
what
in his
he
pockets.
said. In his
I said,
close the door,
hello.
close the door, close the door.
He replied, hello, young lady.
Boom, close the door.
Are your parents home? Stupidly,
Close the door and
I
say,
said no.
"Dad."
My mom isn't home right now. You have to come back tomorrow. He then said with a surprised smile on his face, oh, you're all alone, huh?
No.
I said, yeah,
no,
I
my
am.
uncle here.
He
My
replied
uncle's
with,
here.
okay, young lady,
My brother.
have a nice night. Don't get into any trouble. He then walked away and I closed the door.
She just said
He seemed friendly, but also weird at the same time. He was a little funny looking though. He was balding and had 70s styles glasses on, with a mustache and bags under his eyes like he never slept. About 10 minutes passed, and there was another knock at the door. I got up to answer it.
No, you don't answer.
Before I opened the door, something told me to put the chain on. I don't know why, but my gut told me to do that. It was strange because we really didn't use the chain. But I'm glad I did, because as soon as I opened the door,
He tried to get in.
it was pushed open,
Bang.
but abruptly stopped by the chain. Before I could even say or do anything, I looked through the crack of the door to see the same man again. And he said in a startled voice, oh, hey there. I just wanted to make sure you were okay, as he stuttered. It was like he knew he failed getting inside the house and tried to play off any suspicion by speaking quickly and making it seem like he didn't just obviously try coming into the house.
Right.
I said, I'm fine, thanks. And I shut the door.
Yeah, slam the door in that boy face. Go check
At that time, I didn't really understand the situation or the dangers of what just happened.
Lost your life.
But still, I was a bit freaked out and wanted my mom to come home soon.
That's what you get though for answering.
An hour went by,
without even saying
and I was still thinking about what happened, so I started to watch a movie,
Why did
trying
you
to keep my
not
mind
call the
occupied,
police? Is what I don't understand.
when I heard,
Hey, let me in quick. I gotta tell you something.
The police already on the way.
this was the scariest situation I've ever been in my life. It was the man once again. He was talking through the letterbox. I shouted, leave me alone. The letterbox closed. Then the man started banging on the front door, screaming, let me in, you little shit, while slamming the front door handle up and down, trying to get in. I just stood back crying, praying he doesn't get in. He eventually gave up and left. My mom came home about 30 minutes later, just to find me crying, and I told her everything that happened. We told the police, but they never found this guy. I look back, and I think how grateful I am that I had the feeling to put the chain on the door. I hate to think what that man would have done if he had managed to get in.
You stupid. Number 3, let's go. This one is
Number
scary as
1.
one.
I was having a pleasant dream when what sounded like hammering woke me. After that, I could barely hear the muffled sound of dirt covering the coffin over my own scream.
Ooh, I don't like to get that sound in my ear, boy.
Number 2.
Sound like
I woke up to hear knocking on glass. At first, I thought it was the window, until I heard it come from the mirror again. Number 3. There was a picture in my phone of me sleeping. I live alone. Number 4. My wife woke me up last night to tell me there was an intruder in our house. She was murdered by an intruder 2 years ago. Number 5.
He got me.
I never go to sleep, but I keep waking up. Number 6.
The last thing I saw was my alarm clock flashing 12:07 before she pushed her long, rotting nails through my chest, her other hand muffling my scream. I sat bolt upright, relieved it was only a dream, but as I saw my alarm clock read 12:06, I heard my closet door creak open. Number 7. There's nothing like the laughter of a baby, unless it's 1 a.m. and you're home alone. Number 8. I begin tucking him into bed, and he tells me, "Daddy, check for monsters under my bed." I look underneath for his amusement and see him, another him, under the bed, staring back at me, quivering and whispering, "Daddy, there's somebody on my bed." Number 9. I always thought my cat had a staring problem. She always seemed fixated on my face.
Dog and this sound
Until one day,
really
when I realized that she was always looking just behind me.
They're not even much over yet.
Number 10.
Sarah!
A girl heard her mom yell her name from downstairs. So she got up and started to head down.
Sarah!
As she got to the stairs, her mom pulled her into her room and said,
I heard it too. Stay in here and don't make a sound.
She gonna move. She gonna move. And she gonna die. It's over with for you, Sarah. Man, that was it. See, this is my first, you know what I mean, animated horror with RASTA. If y'all like that, you hear me? Hit that button, you hear me? Bring bow and subscribe. You did. This was nice. We gonna do this more often.